Hello everybody, welcome to the Football Daily Weekly. We're previewing Wednesday's Champions League games right now with Kristen Hennage as journalist and lovely man, and Dave, of course. Always a pleasure to see you. Let's get on with it, gentlemen. Schalke are playing Real Madrid. Dave, they've hammered them before in this contest. Are they going to hammer them again?
They're definitely going to hammer them again. I think Schalke this season in the Bundesliga have been all right. Di Matteo's come in, he's shored everything up. They're playing a 3-4-3/3-5-2 system at the moment. But you can just see Real Madrid, tearing them a new one, really. There's not enough quality there. Draxler's out injured. Max Meyer's not really playing enough games at the moment. It's a very average Schalke side, you'd say. Klaas-Jan Huntelaar has been suspended in the league, but will be back for the tie. It's just Real Madrid have got too much firepower, really.
But Di Matteo knows how to beat superior opposition in this competition.
I think he had a better toolbox.
Okay, fair enough.
The uncertainty with Huntelaar's situation early in the season, I don't think helped. I just look at the squad, as Dave said, and I don't see players like Maxim Choupo-Moting causing them problems. Maybe in the Bundesliga, but not a team of the pedigree and ilk of Real Madrid.
So no chance for Schalke. I mean, a bit more about Real Madrid. They'll be looking to win this competition, of course.
They haven't found that fluidity yet. The fluidity hasn't come. Di Maria gave them the fluidity last year, and I think Ancelotti's still searching for that answer. Isco could be that man to really, get their attack and the defence connected. He's played the most games under Ancelotti since Ancelotti took over, which is quite interesting in its own light. But you got likes of Cristiano Ronaldo that's yet to get firing in the Champions League. He's only scored 5 goals. I think last season he'd already scored, I think he was in double figures last season at this season in the group stages. So Ronaldo's got to kick on, Bale's got to kick on, Benzema's got to kick on, but then that firepower, it's ridiculous.
Can Real Madrid be the first team to retain the Champions League trophy? Ancelotti is an excellent cup manager, as we know.
I just look at the games against Atletico Madrid and just think no. For those reasons, I think when they've been pushed this season for the big occasion, I think they've fallen flat. And last season they seemed to have the mental toughness to do it, funnily enough, against Atletico of all teams in the final. But there's something different about them this season. I don't think it's just Di Maria going. I think there's some kind of mental fatigue there. I just wonder if maybe it was inertia that carried them to the end point last season, whereas it just seems like that X factor, that intangible that we can't always define is missing.
Yes, Dave.
I think it's to do with you're lacking a holding midfielder. Toni Kroos isn't a holding midfielder, and he has got to be absolutely knackered.
Yeah.
How much football that lad played over the last year? It's ridiculous. Winning the World Cup, Bayern Munich, winning the German league, and now he hasn't evolved into that holding midfielder yet. Potentially he will do, but right now it's not working. Khedira isn't looking like a decent holder. The talk of Lucas Silva, the signing from Cruzeiro, starting against Schalke, potentially he could be the one that could knit it all together.
Funny one, isn't it? Basel are playing Porto. That's a harder one to call, obviously, Dave. What are you thinking of that?
I think Porto are going to blow them away. The likes of Hector Herrera, he's got 3 assists in the Champions League. Koke's the only player who's got more. Jackson Martinez has scored 5 goals. And then they've got Berahimi, the Algerian winger, who has scored the most goals for a midfielder in the Champions League this season.
How's about
so
that?
there's a bit of calibre in that Porto side. That could be an interesting one. They've got pace on the counter. They could, if they're solid at the back, they could really be a dark horse in a way. You can see them blasting Basel out of the way.
Would you agree with that, Kristen? Do you quite like this Porto side?
Yeah, I just find their ability to constantly find talent, and even Brahimi, who you touched on there, had a very iffy start to his career. He was good at Rennes, but then went to Granada, and everyone thought he'd kind of fallen off, but has completely picked his career back up and is now an international playing in the World Cup. Certainly, I think Basel have potential. Brillon Bolo is a good prospect. They've just signed him to a contract to 2019. But I think against this Porto side, and particularly the explosiveness of Hector Herrera, who I must admit I'm a very big fan of, I just think it'll be too much for Basel to handle.
But one of the younger players you quite like as well, who had to go, tell me, what was the story? He had to go to school the next day after playing his Champions League.
Yeah, Mbolo, funnily enough, has literally had to juggle school life with Champions League this season.
Amazing, isn't it? We've all been there.
Yeah, I had a very difficult county cup game after a physics test.
Absolutely.
It was hard, but I came through it, I got a B.
Yeah.
I think that certainly that's something we don't talk about with Basel either, is they have quite a decent academy. And they've done very well with a lot of young players. You go way back to Rakitic, even the Yakin brothers, who were slightly older. They've got a good academy system, and they're producing well, and I think it's just not enough to rival Porto's outside imports that they've brought, like Jackson Martinez.
Of course, yeah. Let's have some predictions then, gentlemen. Schalke versus Real Madrid. What are you going for, Dave?
4-0.
4-0 Real Madrid?
Yeah.
My goodness, kill the tie off in the first
Definitely.
game. Kristen?
3-0.
Really?
think Schalke will show up shop.
Yeah, I'm going to go. Yeah, I think 2-1 to Real Madrid. Glimmer of hope for Schalke, but realistically, I think Madrid will have that effectively wrapped up. What about Basel versus Porto?
I'm going to go 2-1 Porto.
2-1 Porto in the first leg, Christian.
I'm inclined to agree with my good man.
Okay, I'll agree as well. So we're all
2-1.
Yeah, we're all synced up there for the 2-1s. Well, let us know what you think the scores will be in the comments below, and enjoy the Champions League game. We'll see you next week.